you go.
Yeah.
You're worse than you're fucking worse than.
Good afternoon, or good morning, or good night, or whatever time you're watching this. Welcome to our weekly chat. I drew the short straw this week, so it's me presenting. With us, we have myself, we have Peter Burke, we have Claire, as always, Sarah, Danny, Peter, Matt, welcome back, and Connacht's finest, James. So I think, first of all, I think we'll hand over to Sarah to give a little message she wants to pass on. So over to you, Sarah.
Thanks, Richard. We'd just like to send our sincere condolences to family in Greystones who unfortunately lost Grace was her name, and our sincere condolences to the family and her wide circle of friends, all her teammates in all the different clubs, and particularly in Greystones Rugby Club. May she rest in peace.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think while we're on it as well, I think we should pass our condolences on to the Holland family. Jerry Holland died, a Munster stalwart for years. He passed away at the age of just 66 during the week as well. Father of Billy Holland. He'll be a massive loss to his club and to his province. So I think we better kind of cheer it up a bit here now. Claire.
Yeah, go on, tell us a fucking joke or something, will you?
Yeah. Claire, you watched the Women's World Cup final, did you?
I did. A couple of things. New Zealand's first try was truck and trailer. Their second try was forward. And all of them tries, bar one, were scored by Malts.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see any of the game now, but
it was very impressive.
Yeah, it was good, but it was just the first two New Zealand tries were a bit. So
yeah.
The truck and trailer shouldn't have, and then the forward pass, it was should have gone to Specsavers kind of thing. It was that far forward.
Straight out of the traps with that, Claire. Fair play to you.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, fucking fair play to you now. You know, get a fucking out. Say what you mean, Claire. Say what you mean now. Don't hold back.
Think what you say. Say what you see.
When the Pro 12 started first, Specsavers used to sponsor the referee shirts, isn't it?
I know, yeah.
That's
Actually, Claire, did the England red card, did that make much of a difference, do you think?
Yeah, well, the English red card was in 16 or 17 minutes, so they played. They played the most. There goes me maths. They played most of the game with 14 ladies. Kind of. If the red card wasn't there, I reckon they would have won. They were very good. They were very good all the way through, and it just kind of, again, in the last game they threw it away. And let's do a Razzie rant. The ref was wrong. They try shouldn't.
Don't fucking
Jesus.
Don't fucking start.
We'll get to that.
Sorry. That's my take on it.
I'll be honest with you, Claire. I saw that red card on social media, and that's the only thing I saw of the game. But yeah, that was a definite red. There's no ifs, buts, or ands about it. So
It was actually.
I agree. It was a definite red card, but I just felt like a Razzie rant coming on. So.
I thought it was actually a very good tournament. I think it shows you the fuck up that the IRFU did by not investing in the women's team before this World Cup. Because it really highlighted how good women's rugby can be and should be. So from a tournament point of view, I thought it was a great tournament.
Yeah, I think there'd be a lot of in the RFU maybe kind of saying, right, I think we kind of messed up with the lack of investment, kind of lack of not getting players out there and more involved. I think one of the biggest mess upstairs, they have 15s and 7s players together, rather than trying to leave players focus on one side of the game or the other. So I think there'll be a lot more questions asked to the RFU after this now as well, I think.
Yeah, I'd say it has a lot to do with their the contracts, why some of them hesitated as well. You know, they were kind of kicked in the hole a bit too soon. I just don't think it was right. But that's a whole different rant, as Richard has pointed out. The IRFU has to take a good hard look at the women's section now because of the way things have turned out. You know, it's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, absolutely.
shocking.
Right, I suppose we'll just dive straight into reviewing last weekend's games.
Before
go
you
for
do
the big
that,
one.
Richard, I just wanted to point out, like, you know, given the week we had, I suppose, with, like, you know, the news that poor girl in Wicklow, and then of course Vicky Phelan passed, and I just thought again, coming back to the rugby and the women's, thought Ruby Tui's interview would just do you a good.
Yeah.
What
She's
an
brilliant.
absolute magical thing she did. You know, she had the crowd in her hand. She started singing, fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're here.
Brilliant.
Oh,
Yeah.
Borker's barking there.
No, sorry, it's coughing. Go on. Go on.
Actually, Matt, have you did you see any of the Women's World Cup?
I didn't actually see any. I didn't see the final anyway. I saw highlights of some of the games, but I saw the highlights of the final, and like looked like a great contest. You know, but like as the lads are saying, the women's game is up and coming, and the IRFU have missed the major.
Yeah,
They really missed
it's-
out big time. You know, they really do need to pull the finger out now for the women's and watch it go ahead, because they're well able.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, actually, just coming to me head there. Claire, sorry. You were wanting to pass on best wishes to someone there, are you?
I am.
Dave, go on, Dave.
Go on, Dave.
We love you, Dave.
My very good friend of mine and a member of the page, Mr. Burke, has had the pleasure of meeting him as well. Mr. Dave Reese. He may be Welsh, but we still love him as one of our own. Leinster supporter. He had surgery yesterday. He is recovering well. I was down today with him in the hospital. He's recovering well. There is there's a recovery ahead of him, but he's got this. So best of luck, Dave, and we'll see you at the Connacht game on the 4th of January.
Best of luck, Dave.
Best of luck, Dave.
Best wishes, Dave.
Buy you a pint as well.
Keep it lit.
All of them will buy you a pint.
Oh,
There you
yeah.
go.
Yeah.
I might be even up when I buy him a pint.
We have that on record. We have that on evidence. That's a
Yeah,
very
it's you and your fucking spice bag, Debbie, and your fucking vodka and coke with your spice bag, and Dave with his
That
pint.
sounds
No
lovely.
problem. No
yeah.
problem.
Nice bag. Heartburn in the bag.
There you go. Sorry, Richard. Go on.
Sorry, Rich, back to you. Yes.
Yeah, we'll dive into these reviews anyway. Ireland 35, Fiji 7 or 17. What did we think of the game? Obviously,
Shite.
Fiji. Yeah, it wasn't a great game, was it?
Mexican wave. Great
It was
Mexican
brilliant Mexican wave.
The Mexican wave.
Haven't seen that in fucking years.
And myself and Claire got to meet face to face as well. So
You did. You did. I saw the photographs.
There you go.
Saw the photographs. Well done.
Now, was that the Mexican wave that did that, or you just decided to?
well, we happened to be And two-
James posted something and I was like, that looks like it's beside where I'm sitting, because I wasn't meant to go to the match. So I was like, where are you sitting? I'll meet you. Good up here, we go there. So I actually got to meet him. 2 great selfies as well.
yeah.
But Claire,
Yes.
did he buy you a spice bag?
No, because they don't sell spice bags in this. I
Oh.
had this conversation on the page the other day.
Did
They
he
don't
buy
sell
you a vodka and coke?
I would have if I could have.
We took a rain check for the Connacht
Yeah,
game on the 1st in the RDS.
On the 1st of January, we'll do all that.
We do all that. Anyway, Richard, to go back to your original question, Ireland versus Fiji wasn't a fucking great game at all. Ireland, we won that 35-17. Timothy got man of the match, well deserved. But there was 3 cards and that, 2 yellows for Fiji. The first yellow was for Ratum how's your own? And the second yellow was for
Pronounce that name
Saul. There was a
He's
red
gone.
card for
He
there was
gone.
a red card for
Yeah, no, he's into
He's
the
gone.
whatever happens.
What's going on
Yeah,
with
yeah.
No, he's there.
Oh,
now.
can you not hear me? Can you hear me now?
No.
Can you hear me now?
No,
Can you hear me now?
what?
Can you hear me now?
No, we can't.
What?
You can't be Peter.
What's he saying?
High
For
five.
the love
Yeah.
of fucking Jesus. Can you just fucking hear me now?
No,
Yeah.
Here you
yeah.
go. Go ahead there.
Sorry,
What's
you
that?
know, just there's somebody there. They're just not not as contrary version of you talking. I don't know. I'm not sure. Anybody else think?
It was great for
Peter,
a
do you want
second
me
there
to
when you
speak?
stopped
I
talking.
can speak.
Okay,
Right.
that's true. I agree with that.
Okay. Would you
Oh, there
just
he
shut?
is.
Would you all just shut the fuck up for a minute? Right now, can you just hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Ah, yeah, we
Right.
can.
Unfortunately,
Fuck's sake.
yes.
Pipe down, will you?
All too well, all too fucking
Come
well.
on, Mark. Unfortunately, we can't hear you perfectly, Peter.
Is he still talking?
I fucking,
I'm not
I
too sure. I'm not too sure.
tell you, I fucking love these chats.
He's about to
Now-
throw the toys out.
Wind up, wind up.
I live for these Wednesday night chats. Sorry. Now, anyway.
Come on, will you?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm
Oh,
just
yeah.
gonna say, right, Ireland versus Fiji. I'll brief it. 35-17, Fiji were shit, Ireland were shit, wasn't a great game. 3 cards, 2 yellows, Ratam Yard, whatever his fucking names, I don't know.
Your man.
Yeah, your man, your own. And yellow, Sawulo, red for Tui, Sui. How are you, Gooey?
How's your father? Go on.
How's your father? Like, it wasn't a great game. We won it, yeah. Timony was fucking class. I have to give him that. And yeah, there you go. Leave it at that.
Claire, what did you think of the game? You were at it, of course.
Yeah, great. As I said, great Mexican wave. Yeah, it was very stop start. It was very, very, very stop start. Great Mexican wave, and I had the pleasure of meeting James.
That was about it, was it?
Yeah, that was
the highlight.
That was the highlight. Yeah. Oh no, the highlight was actually at the end of the match. There was a
Oh.
gang of Fijians, and they started singing and dancing, and it was actually quite good when we were all leaving. Yeah, they were actually very good.
Nice.
They
They're the
probably
happiest
would-
bunch.
Yeah, they were really friendly, really nice, singing away. So yeah, great game.
Yeah, I got it.
Sarah, what
I
did
met
you
a
think of
bunch
it?
as well.
Yeah.
After the match, and I put some videos up on the page as well. I got some selfies with them, and they were a great form altogether for a team that lost. But as a spectacle, the game was just, it was dross, absolute
It
boring.
was shite. It was shite.
Yeah. And as I said, the highlights: meeting Claire, Mexican wave, and meeting the Fijians after the match for the bit of crack, and that was about the size of it.
Actually, James, can you change your name to Sarah Duffy there? And Sarah, can you change your name, because I think Richard asked Sarah, wasn't it?
It's all right, James. I'll let you away with this
What?
once, but then I will say, excuse me, James, I'm still talking. You get
There you
away
go.
with it once, James. Just saying.
There you go. That's it.
In your own time, Sarah.
Absolutely starving.
You happy, Mort?
Peter, what are you eating there? You're making me more hungry than I am.
Sarah, you get
I
hungry.
made me Manhattan peanuts.
You're
dry
eating
roast.
your nuts.
I'm
You
eating
work away,
nuts, yeah.
Pat, and eat your nuts.
I was going to say something there, but I won't. Go on.
Just say it.
Oh,
You have a mouthful of nuts.
you fuck off.
You're not going to be able to say it now, are you?
Go on, the fuck, will you? Go on, talk about the
Um,
fucking game.
Did anyone else think that Ireland Fiji game was a bit like he was kind of Andy Farrell was backing like he was experimenting? You know, I just didn't think it was a proper team. But I give Lockman, I thought he had a good game. Prendergast, he had a good spell. Timoney and Treadwell, they had solid games. And, you know, I think Ben Healy would have played well in that kind of setup. It kind of would have suited a bit better.
Where the fuck would Ben Healy? Where the fuck would Ben Healy have played?
I do not think he would have. I
No,
knew
he's
you'd
fucking
argue
shit.
this.
He's listen.
He's
Ben
not.
Healy, he's not a fucking 10. Ben Healy is not a fucking 10.
I
He's not
didn't
even.
say he was a 10. I just said he
But-
would have
but-
played well in that setup. I'm hungry now, and I can get hungry in about 0.6 seconds. So please take me on. I swear to God. Ah, no, I'm joking.
I'm not.
But come here, do you know I'm going to throw this out? Do you not think people need to ease up with the old hype machine on Jack Crowley? Like, I'm actually sick to death of reading shit about him now. You know, could they not give Stuart McCluskey and Jimmy O'Brien, who can play out half as well, could they not give him and what's your man that plays 14? Balakune. You know, Jacob Stockdale, his return. You know, Marty Moore, your man Nash, why don't they give him, like, what's all this hype about Jack Crowley? Oh,
'Cause,
geez, it's no wonder the new generations of 10 can't live up to the expectations of Sexton. You know, with all this.
I think that's just it,
Incredible.
exactly, Sarah.
But Sarah, that's where the hype is coming from, because oh god, nut has caught me tooth. The hype is
Don't say it, Sarah, don't say it. I'm listening.
No,
I'm
but
listening.
don't
Don't
say it.
say it.
no,
I hope
no,
there's
come here.
nothing else attached to the nut.
I was going to say hate
Oh,
that, but go on.
No, all I'm saying to you is that the hype around Jack Crowley is because of the succession for the 10 position in the Ireland team that everyone is ranting about when Sexton retires, supposedly after next year's World Cup, who's going to come up. So the 10 position being a really strong position on any team, that's where the Jack Crowley debate and all that succession is coming from. So,
But if he has a rough
Yeah,
patch,
yeah.
I won't keep you too much on, but if he has a rough patch, say in April, everyone's going to write him off. He's shit. You know, and all this hype.
Yeah.
What about the other lads? McCluskey, I just think McCluskey, Jimmy O'Brien. I think they were
McCluskey's a
brilliant.
centre. McCluskey's a centre, Sarah.
Yeah.
McCluskey, he's a centre. He's not a 10.
He's dynamite. Prendergast, give him another shot. He had a good spell as well on the pitch. You know?
Timony.
I think the whole thing is it's all about the 10 position. And the other thing I kind of mentioned as well previously, we know who our first and second liners are. Well, Carberry is basically has still done nothing for me. So
No.
I think it's really about, like, we know Tig is locked down, just for taking tie head prop. Tig, we know Tig Furlong's locked down tie head. That's the end of story, right? And Finlay is number 2. But if Beal, it's not even a question of if you have to look at other scenarios as well. So you could go into a match where, you know, like we're heading into now on Saturday, where Sexton is probably going to be fit, but our third choice is going to be on the bench. It's all the different kind of, you know, I think we're all set and say, oh, like, who's our first and our second ranks? So we've our first and our second rank players in certain position nailed, and I feel they're absolutely nailed. It's about basically getting your Tom O'Toole's, who's third choice tie head, getting him plenty more game time, because he hasn't had near enough.
Yeah.
It's certain players need, because like it's the people who you don't expect an injury to. They're the ones who, the guys who normally sit on the bench. They need to have someone who'll come in as a third choice who doesn't normally sit on the bench and needs to have time, needs to have minutes, needs to have experience against better teams. So it's the likes of Tom O'Toole. Like, I would even throw it out there. Tom O'Toole should start against Australia, not Tig or Finlay. Tom O'Toole, and put one of the other 2 lads on the bench.
I
Actually,
agree.
it's a good point, yeah. To give him that exposure.
Just to give, because he won't, like, there's 2 top level games realistically. Let's call them a spade. France and England in the Six Nations. Like, okay, O'Toole came on. Did he come on in any of the tests against New Zealand? Off the top of my head, I know he played the Maori games, but
No, he didn't come on against New Zealand.
if you analyse his minutes, he doesn't have enough against the top teams. We know Furlong has. We know Bealham has. Bealham scored a flipping try against England last year. That's a done and dusted. They need to look at the guys who aren't going to get injured. And Johnny Sexton said it there this evening. The teams who tend to win the Rugby World Cup are those who manage to stay injury free. But like that's the aspiration. You know, no, it's a given that someone's going to get injured, and it's basically having sufficient cover. And it's not so much, you know, being injury free, but even player management, managing minutes. There's an opportunity on Saturday, and then for the Six Nations, I think.
I'm seeing there a little bit of rumblings that Sexton might not be fit for Saturday, that one of the Burns will be brought in.
No, he's fit.
Oh, stop.
They're bringing in Billy Burns into the squad, aren't they?
Monday.
Sexton is fit. Shut up.
It was on there a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah.
But,
What?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a doubt again.
Grennan,
Russell-
Sexton is fit. He's fit.
Jay, somebody was messing with you when they sent you that.
It's the Connacht Inquirer there at the hub. They're hoping Matt Carty will be brought in.
I have to get a banana. Okay, I have to get a banana.
Matt Boland.
Yeah.
Well,
Did
So-
you see the game?
I
Emily-
did see the game, of course. Like as everybody else said, the game was shit. Ireland played bad and Fiji played bad. The thing that struck me more than Anton in the game is the fact that like a man sent off and a yellow card for like 5 or 6 minutes and we didn't score a single point. That's disgraceful. Disgraceful.
I actually
You know,
think what
That's
you
the
call
time
them,
you need to really.
Farrell actually said that. I think in his PE, he was very disappointed when they did go down to 13 that Ireland didn't do anything about it. They were just they didn't play or whatever
Exactly.
you want to
But
say.
that's in a game like that. It's criminal. It's criminal in a game like that. Like if that was say Australia this weekend and we didn't score against 13 men, you'd be really worried. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
I was, like I said last week, I was happy that he did kind of change up the squad and bring in a few new guys to get them started, which is the only way you need to do going forward for a World Cup is start breeding players. You can't be reliant on the likes of Sexton. He's 37 years of age. You think he's going to get through a Six Nations and a whole World Cup next year without an injury? Forget about it. You know, like, and this is the whole problem with Sexton position. You know, it's such a dynamic position, and because he has been so fundamental to that squad and even Leinster over the years, that he's going to be impossible to replace. But that doesn't say that somebody isn't up to the job. They just need to be trained right. Okay, take Carberry and Sexton out of the equation. Who do you start for Ireland at 10 and who do you put on the bench? Nobody knows. I don't think even Farrell knows at this stage because, again, it's a specialist position and there's so many players that can do it, but they're just not given the chances. It's that simple. And
Yeah.
come Six Nations, they're gonna have to just leave Sexton and leave Carberry out of the equation and see what the young lads can do. I know Peter has a big problem with Ben Healy. I'm not particularly fond of him myself, but fuck him on for a game for 80 minutes and see what happens in the Six Nation when he's up against France or England. It's
100%
that simple.
not.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's the only way you're going to breed players to do really well and competitive in a World Cup. That's less than 12 months away at this stage.
Yeah, to use a poker term, Ireland have gone all in with Sexton.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
what's your,
You know,
what's your,
and like
go ahead there, Pete.
I was going to say, Richard, we've gone all in with Sexton for the past fucking 5-10 years.
Yeah, I know, but that's the thing, and it is risky and it has paid off for us, but that's a bet that's starting to run dry now.
absolutely. You know, he's got to look at it and got to start playing the young lads and giving them game time. And yeah, they might fuck up and lose a game, but like
That's called
they're not going to learn
experience.
otherwise.
Yeah,
They'll learn otherwise.
I think the whole
I don't think Healy is the fucking solution.
I don't think-
I didn't say he was. But
No, I know,
the
I
players
know
need to be
that.
fucked in that position.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
No,
He just came to my mind because you were giving out about him.
I give out about I give out about a lot of people, Matt, as you probably know. But no, but I know what you mean. Though, but
You're a cog.
Danny Brosnan, what did you think of the game?
I saw the highlights of the first half anyway, and it was like we were kind of there and kind of everyone was kind of beating for the first time, kind of going, "How are you lads? What are you going to do? What's the game plan? Who's doing what?" and all this sort of crack. But we seem to kind of get better as the match progressed. We seem to be a little bit shell shocked by Fiji, and as we said here before, we had about 10-minute patch where we were 2 men up, and the fact we didn't take advantage of that was this was an issue, to be honest with you. Even I was kind of roaring at the TV saying, "Let's come on to fuck with it, just get some points on the board for fuck's sake," and get this over and done with. I know Farrell was kind of giving out about the team a little bit afterwards, saying that he wasn't as happy with the performance. We should have been a bit more clinical, and we should have had it well wrapped up by I say maybe 60 minutes when the substitutes were coming on. But considering the team he put out, there wasn't a whole lot of cohesion. If you look at your regular 15 or 23 man squad, a lot of those lads know each other inside out. They can predict what the other person's going to do before they do it. That wasn't there. There was that kind of half second to actually kind of set each other up. That wasn't there in that Fiji match. I think that's what part of the problem was. But when you're bedding new players like that, it does take time to get that kind of knowledge of each other properly going. I think we've seen that with ourselves down much this year with Rowntree getting the new game plan in. It's taken a while to kind of get everything kind of to glue and get together and stuff like that. But I think it was before during the series in July that if Porter, Furlong and Sexton had been left out, it might have been a better thing for the development of the Irish squad. I'd nearly do that Saturday against Australia and just literally leave those three lads out. Carrying the travelling squad as third choice if anyone gets injured. They say Furlong can come onto the bench, Porter, Sexton, whoever, they can come onto the bench then. For that, I'd leave them out for a simple reason that you're going to have a fairly decent Australia squad. Not the greatest Australia squad we've ever seen, but give those that said, right, you want to start claiming a position, there's your chance. Take it.
Yeah.
If no, we can maybe one more match before the World Cup. Or that, this is going to be a real big shot to see what you're really made of. Take it or leave it.
Yeah. Good point, actually, Danny. Yeah. Peter Martin, I'm sure you have some interesting stats for us
just
there.
before Peter jumps in there, just like this is an Australia team that, like, out of the three games that they've played, they've won one by 1 point and lost two by 1 point. So they're good, you know, like they're not bad by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah. But like,
Not as good as this.
but like, no, to be honest, they're not Australia. They're not the force maybe they were a few years back. They weren't, where you're as scared of them as you were maybe 15, 20 years ago. All right, like that. But now is a chance where you have a quality team, a quality-ish team, to put those younger players out and say, lads, you're up against your equals, more or less. Take it. This is your real test. This is your litmus test, as you say.
Well,
Test players out.
I was in Australia 8-9 years ago, and even back then, rugby league was fifth, or rugby union was fifth in terms of sports played in Australia. So you had AFL, obviously, you had rugby league, cricket, soccer, and then rugby union.
Who's that?
Just the video. He's the host.
And you know what? I had the opportunity, as someone, as you all know, we shall say no names. I had the opportunity of hosting David Campese for a night.
Yeah, hear that.
So
What are you getting in return?
I couldn't give up bollocks. I'm not hosting them. I don't care.
You're surprised you know who
Not
asked.
even for some Castlemaine 4X, no?
No, there you go. No, honest to God, you all know I got the offer to host David Campese, and no, sorry, good luck. Go to a fucking hotel.
PFO Joe.
But
host
there
tonight,
you see, come here, Steve. Say nothing. Go on, Richard.
Peter, what did you think of the game? Peter Martin, obviously.
Yes, it was messy, it was scrappy. Fiji proved if they could only just have a bit of fucking discipline, they could really cause, real havoc at a World Cup.
They could.
They have the Drua, which will be a base from which to get their cohesion from, because everybody goes on about cohesion, like Ireland being mostly kind of made up with Leinster. If Fiji get that kind of cohesion with the Drua, and a Drua, if they sort out their discipline, Fiji will just basically knock spots off a few days. They'll be kingmakers and title killer, hopes and dreams killers for another team. Like they'll wreck someone if they get their shit together. Look, I just writing just writing down a few bits here. Like I thought McCluskey was very, very good. I think I was glad to see him get his time against Fiji to really show, because his first half hour against South Africa, in that first half hour, like, he was man of the match, player of the match, Peter. Material. We know he didn't last, but glad that he was back on against Fiji. Look, you know, it's as far as I'm concerned, like, you know, yeah, it was a mess. It was the way we finished at the end, and again, as everybody else has kind of alluded to, the issue with execution, having all that ball and all that, you know, the extra men, and not really making it count, squeeze another 2 tries out of it just to make it a bit better on the scoreboard. Yeah, look, it was one of those type of games that he probably should have been better off had he fielded a more weakened team and made a bit more of a contest, shall we say? Get some lads, force some guys in there, put some guys in there who really need more game time, minutes, you know, against opposition, just to see how they go. Not an awful lot else really. My own thoughts are really heading towards this Saturday. At this stage, I've written down a team for what I would definitely put out as a 15 to take the field anyway.
Okay. Thanks for that, Peter. Look, we'll move on briefly then to the France-South Africa game, and I have only one thing to say on this: was that red card. It was absolutely scandalous. He could have actually killed your man the way he hit. It was just, there's no place in a civilized world for that sort of play, and let alone a rugby pitch. And I think I said it about the Ireland game the week before. The way it's going, there's a South African player going to kill another player on the pitch. The way they play, it's something that should be eliminated from the game. The South Africans are, I know the Fijians are no saints, but the South Africans are always the same. They've been like that for 25 years. It's not right.
Not making excuses for him, but they were saying, like, he's not a dirty player, and, you know, he's never had a card in his life, apparently, you know. But Jesus Christ, like, I thought you were talking about Tupont's red card, like, which I had to kind of think about what he did.
Well, he went in under the player, and that was.
Yeah, but is the rule not you compete? If you compete for a high ball, you have to jump, don't you?
Yeah, you have to leave the ground.
Yeah, but you need to be clear on the rules, though. You need to be clear on the rules. You have to be in a position to be able to challenge for the ball. And if you're not in a realistic position to get the ball or challenge for the ball, no matter what you do, if you touch a player in the air and he lands anywhere from his neck up or his shoulders up, it's a red card, and it's that simple. Yeah.
It's if you jump together and you're more or less the same height, that's considered to be competitive.
Yeah. But
it's one of those rules where it's really, there's a big gray area. It's like an interception pass. If you're not in a realistic position to catch the ball, you're in fucking knock-on territory, or
deliberate knock-on.
Deliberate knock-on. Yeah, thank you, Claire.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's such a gray area that, like, you have to be in a realistic position, and that's where I think the players are struggling with them rules. It's like the high tackle as well. You know, you have a big man coming running at you, like, you never go low, because he just trounce all over you, like John Olomu did to Will Carling all those years ago. Do you know what I mean?
For speed bump, that's it.
Exactly. So it's one of those grey areas.
Yeah, the South African red card was like something you'd see in WWE. It was like a flying headbutt.
Yeah,
it was reminiscent of something that you'd see in WWE.
We've seen that before, where I know where, like, the major issue I think really with that, Dutoit was coming in really low, and then of course you had Andy was coming in with them. And Quagger Smith was shoving them in, and we've seen that. I think that's been done before, where a player has pushed another player into a ruck and caused a penalty. I think it's actually happened in the Six Nations match.
Yeah, it did.
It was actually England. Now that I think of it, was an England match.
You're quite correct, Pete. You're quite correct. It was.
Jeez.
Just on that, I think we should point out that France won the game 30-26. It was okay of a game from what I've seen from the highlights, but
Well, come here to me, Richard. Have you heard the conspiracy theories about this?
It's the ref's fault.
yeah,
Seriously,
I was going to ask you a
seriously.
question. I'll ask you all now. So I'll just open up to all of you. Is Raji mental?
No, but, hold on. But before we go on to that, and before I fucking rant about that, the conspiracy theory about the last French try was,
Okay, what's
if you saw,
I haven't heard this now, so
I don't know. Here we go.
Oh, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
That the ref comms went down, and Wayne Barnes couldn't hear the TMO when Wayne Barnes went to ask, my on-field decision is a try. So you're going to need, when the ref says that, as you all know, you're going to need a very good reason not or to overturn that. But the South African fans were going, well, So if the comms went down when the TMO was looking at that, I would suspect that there was something going on with the French broadcaster, that they cut the comms. Oh, seriously, that they cut the comms for fuck.
On purpose.
On purpose. They cut the comms on purpose.
Yeah.
To Wayne Barnes
Yeah.
from the
Did it
TMO.
against us, sure, for fuck's sake.
It's just fucking ridiculous. And don't get me started on fucking Razzie.
They did it purposely just to piss Razzie off.
Yes, they
Yeah,
needed,
yeah,
they
yeah.
needed another rant for YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or whatever he was ranting on.
Anyway.
Does anyone remember Nigel Owens and the phone call from a few years back?
yes,
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that
yes,
was- yeah.
yes.
I think that was in the Leinster game actually.
It
Yeah,
was.
I think so,
It
yeah.
probably
because
was,
he had
and
to
we-
ring the TMO on
We
the phone.
probably won it as well.
Yeah, but it's just Razi. Then he was doing a press conference. He says, "I don't do it to have a pop at the refs. I do it to point out to South African people what went wrong in the game and what I thought was wrong."
Fucking
But if you were,
gaslighting.
It's the ref's fault.
Yeah.
Look, he has to blame somebody because if he got back to South Africa and they all thought it was his fault, he'd just get shot. To be fair,
Yeah.
let's.
Matt.
Where the fuck is James Grennan gone?
he's just dropping out again, is he?
Yeah,
He fell off the
I
bicycle.
think he's straightened his trip to switch against.
I'm telling you, he forgot to put the change in the free power meter. I'm telling you.
I don't know what.
Yeah,
50
the
pence a
pre-parameter,
litre.
the bicycle, he's there pedaling. He's his young fella there as well. You missed that. Peter was shiting out of him.
Did you
there,
not
and the
see
young
what he
fella was
said?
there. He said he was out of breath saying, "Dad, can I stop pedaling here? I'm fucking knackered."
Oh,
Exactly. The young lad came in and said, "Here, Dad, have you got any more change for the meter?"
You think they get one of those card tap systems nowadays? Just tap the card and off you go.
Does
50 pence a litre
does
on the
Rassie
way.
not think that the refs are all going to stick together and they're clearly going to punish South Africa more now because he
100%.
keeps
That's the thing.
Of
whinging.
course. Of
That's the
course.
thing. It's
Absolutely,
literally the
sir.
boy that cried wolf.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Siege
You
mentality.
know, eventually you're gonna
Absolute
go,
siege
"Well,
mentality. He's
why
built.
should I listen to this fucking head case?"
Oh, he's a
Oh,
fucking nutjob. But the funny thing is, I don't think he was ever that bad when he was coaching Munster.
He wasn't.
No.
Yeah.
he
No.
wasn't.
So what the fuck
No.
happened?
No,
Like,
he just wrecked that team altogether.
Well, yeah, he was.
won the
sta-
World
start
Cup,
of
Matt.
that,
We
and
won the
bang
World
after.
Cup. That's what happened.
Yeah,
We won
yeah.
the World Cup. That's what happened.
Razzie is doing South African rugby no fucking favors with his fucking on-screen rants about the referee. What Razzie fucking fails to fucking understand as a director of rugby for South Africa is that when South Africa lose a fucking game, it's not the fucking ref's fault. It's fucking South Africa as a team's fault, right? He's being a fucking prick about it.
Oh, easy,
fat-
easy, easy.
The fat fucking Donny Osmond.
Oh, wow.
lookalike.
Serious
no,
heat
fuck-
off that screen now. I'm getting.
Fuck off. The fat fucking Donny
Right,
Osmond.
right,
Head him.
Brother,
He's a fucking idiot, Razzie. And he's doing the whole fucking rugby world a disservice for his. Even Nigel Owens came out against him and said he should stop doing this. This is not what this game is about. And he's being a fucking prick about it. And Razzie, if you're watching this, you're a fucking asshole. There you go.
Oh, God almighty.
I'm just laughing. I'm just laughing.
Tune in
that
next week for
both
Peter
having a
Burke's
rant
real
over a
opinion.
rant.
Can anybody, what's the curse count at now?
I couldn't give a
5
bollocks.
million.
Anybody
I-
recording?
The swear jar will actually fill up James.
I'm
Listen,
telling you,
meter.
I'm telling you, we need to do a poll on
I'll
the
fucking say
Packer page.
I'll fucking say it how it is,
Fucking tell
and
it.
he's a fucking prick for doing what he's doing.
You can,
There
of course, like every second.
Oh,
person
okay, I
is
think that
actually
covers that one.
There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for the profanities used.
No,
Please
do not
forgive-
apologize on my behalf. Fuck that shit. He's a
I'm not
prick.
apologizing for my own profanities.
There you go. Go on. Sorry, Richard. Go on.
Are we finished?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just going to say, Richard, that I think I don't want to mention his name. Your man. I don't want to mention his name because it's just, that's my position. I don't want to mention name, but your man is basically turning our game into almost like soccer. He's becoming
Yeah.
the Mourinho.
Yeah.
The Mourinho, where it's basically someone else's fault, is never fucking happy. It's makes it about him. And look where Mourinho as a soccer manager is now. He's basically on the scrap heap. He's been kicked to touch.
Yeah.
He's yesterday's man. And I think that's the problem what's facing your man, is that we're very close to that, because
Yeah.
we've been found out. Saw it in a couple of other Facebook pages. A few other fans, South African fan pages were kind of saying they're very worried now that they feel that the South African plan has been figured out, and they haven't got it nailed down a second choice 10, which is a major issue for them.
You have a
And
first choice 10 either.
Overall, every single team has figured out
They're
a
no
way
kicker.
to take on South Africa, to deal with their physicality, their one-up running, their direct physical style, and beat them.
Yeah.
And they're in a serious hole 12 months out from the World Cup.
Yeah.
I'll jump into this, right? And I'll say, go on YouTube sometime and check out the interview after Canada lost their World Cup match in the Women's World Cup this year. They're asked a question about how the referee was refereeing certain aspects of the game in their match that they lost. And what the Canadian coach, can't remember his name, and same with the women's captain,
Dave.
they basically said, it's on us. We kind of made some mistakes around those areas. We may have gone a little too far. We have to look at certain areas and keep more within the laws of the game. And this is something we have to work on. The referee did their job. We have to work on ours. That's basically what they were saying from my interpretation of it. If Rassie actually took that approach, he might be able to get away. He might be able to get a little bit more in certain areas of the game. But if he's coming out and said, the referee made this mistake, the referee made that mistake, all that sort of crack. Referee, if I was a referee, the first thing I'd say to him is, Rassie, if you don't show up, I'll give you less time and space.
He's a fucking prick.
I'd be more stricter with the rules on a team like that if they're coming down on a referee, if I was a referee myself.
Yeah.
The thing about it is, Rassie's coming back from what, a year-long ban,
Yeah.
and he obviously hasn't learned his lesson, because
And Richard, he deserves another one. He's a fucking
Yeah.
asshole.
the way he's going, they're going to hit him again, because
Yeah.
you know. Anyway,
And he deserves it. He deserves it.
All he's got is that paranoia.
yeah, and there's a lot of it there.
I have
see-
noticed on a couple of forums, some of the South African supporters are going against him. They're kind of going, Rassie, you're speaking for yourself. You're not speaking for us. A couple of the fans are starting to see him for
Who he is.
yeah. They're actually starting to see the wood from the trees with him. So
Before he got his initial ban, remember, he actually set up a fake Twitter account. It was him as well. That was basically agreeing with everything that Rassie was saying, and it was, hang on, this is you anyway. So why are you doing this? Then,
isn't
So
it?
as if people wouldn't see through that. Like,
Yeah.
anyway, just for the record, the score in that game was France 30, South Africa 26. Right, Wales and Argentina. Do we care?
No.
They don't
Right.
watch it.
Scotland, New Zealand.
Dad's army managed to scrape a win. Whoop de fucking do.
Sorry, Dave. You're shy. You know you're Welsh. You're shy. That's why you support Oregon and Leinster.
There you go.
Wales and Argentina, didn't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Scotland,
Richard.
New Zealand. The
You
man
can
bun
edit
scored.
it into a 3-minute highlight reel on YouTube.
What, the Wales Argentina game?
game is a 3-minute highlight reel on YouTube.
Oh, Jesus.
Usually it's
Wow.
3 minutes.
It's bad, yeah.
I
That's
know, I
bad.
couldn't.
Time
I
it takes to
couldn't know.
smoke a cigarette, 3 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
about it, yeah.
Scotland,
If I
New
still
Zealand.
smoked,
The only thing I'd say about that game is Scotland or New Zealand won 14, knocked them up, and then fell asleep for half an hour, and then woke up again. That's basically the way that game went, I think.
Good
Scott-
hairstyles as well.
Scotland played well. I thought Scotland were going to win it, but
No, they
as I
weren't.
said, yeah. But hold on a fucking second there now, Mark. Scotland were played well. Scotland had about 20 minutes, 30 minutes of. I actually thought they were going to win it
Yeah.
at one stage, and
You got
but
Dexter, Peter.
but you can never write New Zealand off, and they came back in the last, as they always do, in the last 10 minutes. Boom! There you go.
Finn,
Off.
Finn Russell scored a good try.
Fuck, he didn't shite. Fucking prick.
Stuart
I-
Hawkins, man.
There's another one.
I watched that full game, and to be honest, I thought Scotland, okay, yeah, they went down 14-0, and a lot of teams would just put their heads down and just let fucking New Zealand run riot. They actually pulled it back, got to 14-all, and actually started playing well, like Peter said, a 30, 40-minute period. A couple of bad decisions, I think, on their part. They could have put New Zealand away, but like Peter said, teams, you need to score, keep scoring tries against the All Blacks, and if you don't, they're gonna come back and haunt you like they did to us in the Viva there a long time ago when it was like
2013, I was at it. I was at it.
yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? But again, I did feel Scotland could actually nip a win here, and it wasn't beyond them. I think just a couple of bad decisions where they went to the corner instead of taking points and missed a couple of lineouts that malfunctioned, and New Zealand stole and got the ball back and cleared. And but again, New Zealand, they just keep coming. They'll keep coming at you.
Yeah.
Just the start was very emotional with Dodie. We're bringing out.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, that was, yeah.
I swear to
Yeah.
God, it was not
And-
tears in my eyes. It was hay fever.
Yeah,
I was
and
not-
even like
He's up
5
in your
years
eye.
ago, the same match, the same game,
Yeah,
and the hand delivered the ball as well. It's just so sad to see
it's so
Yeah.
tough to watch.
deterioration in them.
and the way the two teams came forward to acknowledge him, even they came forward to acknowledge him and chat
Exactly,
with him.
and again, that's one of the things I love about this game is
Yeah.
the respect and camaraderie that teams do have
Yeah.
in situations like that. There's no bullshit off the pitch. You know, you bait the head off each other for 80 minutes and go out and have a beer afterwards. And that's
Yeah.
things, when you see spectacles like that, you see the respect that these guys have. And it's great for the game, I think. And it's great for all the young ones that are playing it, looking at these guys going, okay, well, that's what we should be doing. Do you know? It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah. Look, his illness is an awful thing, and it's you know, like, I remember the man playing. He was a great player, and
Yeah.
to see him now was just it's heartbreaking. It's
No,
heartbreaking for, you
unbelievable.
know.
Tough watch.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Now for me, the game of the weekend was Italy-Australia.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
It's just simply for the result. I think it's the first time in
ever.
a decade.
First time
Ever.
ever they've beaten them.
Ever.
It's the first time in a
ever.
decade that Italy have put back-to-back home victories
Mm.
on the board. So it's good. But they went 7-8 years without winning the game. I think they're after winning 3 this year, or 4
Yeah.
maybe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was great.
It was a good game, and it had a little bit of everything. There was drama, there was everything right up until the end, and Australia had a chance right at the end to win it and pull the kick.
Yeah.
That was about all I seen of it now, because I was working all weekend. But I thought it was a good game personally. I thought it was my game of the weekend.
Yeah, I agree with you, Richard. I thought the France-South Africa game was good, and then when those red cards came, I just kind of switched off. I just thought that's not what the game is about. Italy were very good. They scored 2 brilliant tries, and it kind of lifted everyone, but they missed 5 kicks at goal.
Yeah.
You know, Italy are now better than Scotland. by a long shot, and will soon overtake Wales. I think personally, you know, they've got some really good players, Italy, and
And are
if they
young.
just stop giving away the silly penalties, and I
But, like-
expect Italy to beat both Scotland and Wales in next year's Six Nations. And if they keep staying competitive, they will make a very exciting Six Nations and World Cup. I really do. I really do. You know, that Scotland team, I've seen more backbone in a jellyfish now. Would you stop? Jesus Christ. They just vex me. Him and Hogg. Oh God, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. For fuck's sake.
The man bun.
Yeah.
Fucking man bun. Glory hunting.
That's Danny
Danny,
Brosnan's
what
next
do you say?
hairstyle is a man bun, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Come on, Danny.
yeah.
Burke,
I
get
told you
going.
that same thing, Peter.
Peter can't do it, he doesn't have the hair on top to do it.
Otherwise you can hear.
I reckon you
comb
can pull
over.
that off, Danny.
Of course he could.
Definitely.
Hashtag Danny
Peter-
for bun.
Well, Peter Burke would be the comb over of all comb overs.
I don't
Oh,
have a
God.
fucking comb over. Would you fuck off? What?
Not yet, but you will have.
He put
I'm
Bobby
not-
Charles in same.
For fuck's sake.
Crow with a broken
Give your
wing.
hand a lick and then do that.
Yeah, that's
Peter,
really, really
did
funny.
you, Peter Burke, did you see that game?
Okay.
The Italy-Australia game?
No, I didn't actually. No, I didn't. I did. No, Richard, I'm not being funny. No, I actually didn't. I didn't see that game. Sorry. No.
I didn't, I'll be honest, I didn't see it either because work commitments, but I seen the highlights and it was probably the best game of the weekend.
Oh.
I'll be honest with you now. And the other game, England met Japan, which is not.
I saw that.
unexpected.
I saw that one. I saw that one.
What was it, 58-13 or something?
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
52-13.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm spitting peanuts here. Sorry, excuse me. Yeah, great, fantastic. I think the score flattered England somewhat.
And
I still think. Sorry, Claire. I still think. England.
Are
They're
shy.
not great. Yeah, they are shy. They're not great. I like the game. Like they're playing New Zealand next
Yeah.
weekend,
Mm,
and I think New Zealand will fucking hammer them.
yeah.
I mean, I genuinely do. I
Yeah.
think New Zealand will beat them by 15, 20 points. England aren't a good team at the moment.
It's
For
Going
whatever.
back
Go on, Richard. Go on.
going back to what we said about South Africa and that people have figured out how to play South Africa. People have all, other teams have also figured out how to play England.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because-
yeah.
Again,
Once the
they
ball
don't
gets
seem to be-
beyond 10, there's fucking nothing. End of story.
Yeah, true.
That's it.
Actually,
Yeah,
that's
that's it exactly. Yeah,
that is
A big tackle
fucking
nine
it
is in.
in a nutshell, Peter.
and even the
That's it.
9 isn't that good.
No, he's shite as well.
No.
You
TJ
know,
is actually TJ is good at 9 for them.
Who?
TJ Perenara isn't good at 9 for New
no,
Zealand.
No, for
England.
England. For England.
England.
Sorry,
Wake up,
sorry.
Claire, will you?
Jesus,
Sorry.
man. Come on, the fuck
we're
with
just
you.
saying
Pay-
that,
pay
like South
attention.
Africa, what we're saying is like South Africa, other teams have figured out how to play England and how to beat them. You know, and Eddie Jones doesn't seem to be able to adapt the way that he plays. You know, it's, and that's why they're poor.
Another
I
fucking,
would
another
actually-
fucking tool.
To be honest, though, Richard, I would actually say I think Jones is hamstrung a little bit by the English game. If you look,
Upset
you
him.
watch, he's. I'm not saying he's not at fault for it, but I do think like an awful lot of the English teams. If you look at Leicester, you look at Exeter, you look at Saracens, they all play a very similar physical. Let's beat the crap out of the opposition's pack and then just take our opportunities from there. They don't actually go out to fucking play. Look at
Eight
Sale
forwards and
Sharks.
10 kind of a thing.
Sale Sharks basically had a load of South Africans in the team. They had to get rid of them. There were more South Africans in the fucking team than there was. It was like Scotland bloody A team. It was ridiculous. And look, if you look at the way the English game is now, like half the clubs are falling to bits. Like there's not beyond the boundaries. Like, you know, there's England players in camp with Jones at the moment. They could go back to their club and end up being redundant.
Yeah.
Like there's
Yeah,
a
but there is
fear
that, yeah.
there's a bad vibe around English rugby at the moment because of the financial structures. Players are saying, geez, they're distracted. And I think that's part of the fucking problem is that, you know, like out of the home nations, if you want to start putting labels, we're fucking top of the pile, lads.
But I think that's down to the structures that are in place and have been for the
Oh,
last
it
20
is.
years here. Or 25 years maybe even they've been in place. Yeah.
Mm.
I think we'll move on to next weekend's games. So I'll just list them off here now and you can say what you're going to do.
Now,
So
come here to me. Now,
Ireland-
Richard, you have to take note now who says what now. Hold on.
yeah.
Just while we're doing
Because-
that,
So
Hold on. Hold. Claire, hold on.
are you taking the predictions down, Pete? Yeah.
Yeah, hold on.
the Barbers bet New Zealand 15.
Hold on. Right, go on, Richard. I got.
Ireland, Australia is at 8 o'clock on Saturdays. What do we all think?
I go on Ireland.
There.
Ireland.
Hold on. The fuck with this. Jesus Christ.
Jason,
What are we
first-
holding on to? What are you doing?
I'm writing the fucking things down so I fucking.
Them nuts again.
what's
Go
he
on,
holding on to?
Ireland v
Hold on to your
Australia.
nuts.
So Ireland v Australia. So I'm saying Ireland. Claire,
He's got a
you're
pen in
saying-
one hand and
Nuts in his
He's
other.
nuts in the other.
Yeah, pen and one.
Right,
hand, nuts.
Claire,
Good lad.
Claire,
Peter.
Claire going Ireland. Right, go
a
on.
pepperami in the other.
Right,
Ever Duffy.
Ireland by 3 or 5 points.
hold on.
Oh,
Hold on.
50 points as well, do we? God.
So Claire, or sorry, Sarah, you're going Ireland, yeah?
By 3 or 5 points, yeah.
Okay.
Danny
Go on,
Brosnan.
I hope Farrell rests a couple of players here and there. Though a few players I mentioned earlier on, but I say we're scraping within 5.
So Ireland by
Ireland,
5, Danny.
Ireland within 5 points.
All right, okay.
Ooh, within 5.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Peter Martin.
I think it's really down to the team he selects, to be perfectly honest. Like look, I want Ireland to win, but like Ireland by 3,
Okay.
neck in the block.
Right.
And Matt.
We're gonna win. God, I just don't know the score, but I'm gonna go with Ireland by 7-10.
Ooh,
Okay.
Okay, Ireland
yes, Matt, that's
Okay.
brave.
win. Ireland win. Right, great job. So
I'm going to
I
go with. Sorry, Pete. I'll go with.
Go on, Richard.
I think there'll be tries in the game. I do think there'll be tries in the game. I'm going to go with Ireland by 5.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not taking score prediction. I'm just going team wins.
Win.
So we're all going for an Ireland win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Italy, South Africa, Saturday at 1 o'clock.
South Africa.
Yeah.
Danny, South Africa. Right. Okay. Go on.
Matt,
Richard,
what do you think?
anyone?
South Africa.
Yeah.
Italy.
Peter?
Yeah, me too. Italy by 3 or 5. I said it online earlier.
Yeah.
Claire,
Two girls
Italy.
going.
Hold on. Claire, Italy, Sarah, Italy.
Matt,
Okay.
you're Peter, sorry. Peter
No,
Martin.
no, Matt said South Africa. Peter Martin.
I'll say South Africa as well.
Yeah, I'll go South Africa.
I'll be the same. I'll take South Africa there now as well.
Okay, Richard Holland. So,
Wales and Georgia. No, I'm going to go Wales.
Yeah. We Richard.
hold on, Richard Holland. So Wales. Sorry, Richard. Go on. Wales.
Wales and Georgia is at 1 o'clock.
Wales.
yeah.
All right. Okay. Wales.
Wales.
Right. Go on,
Yeah, I go Wales as well.
Georgia by 12.
Danny.
I'm riding Sarah on that one. Georgia are going to win.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Sarah and Claire
And Peter Martin. Georgia.
Hey!
and Peter Martin. Y'all go for Georgia. Yeah?
Yeah,
All
that
right.
is allowed, Peter.
I couldn't give a bollocks. Go on.
Good.
Who gives a
I'll
fuck?
go with Wales on that one.
Right, okay, Richard.
Matt
Yeah,
Cullen
I'm going
there.
Wales as well.
Matt is on Wales as well.
Wales. Okay, hold on. Matt. Wales. All right, go on next.
Scotland and Argentina, 5:15. Or 3:15,
Argentina.
sorry.
Argentina by 30.
Oh, just shut up, for fuck's sake. Argentina by 30, you having a fucking giraffe.
It's
what I
rugby,
said
it's rugby
earlier.
they're playing at the weekend now. It's not the Argentina football match playing Scotland football, do you know? Fucking hell.
Fuck's sake.
It's Scotland.
Sarah, Argentina. right,
Messi to
okay.
kick all the points.
Yeah, fucking hell, like.
If
Hurt.
Scotland give
Go
away,
on. Okay.
Scotland give away no
He's
penalties,
starting at 10, isn't he?
they could very well.
He'd
Go
do better
on.
than fucking Russell, that's for sure.
Ben Russell, he's a prick. Go on, Sarah, Argentina, Claire,
By
who else?
30.
Argentina. Buffelli, if he's on form, kicking is amazing. So yeah,
Oh,
That's the one with the
100%.
weird look, is it?
yeah, that's the one with the weird
Wonders.
look. Yeah,
The weird look.
he
Oh,
does-
yeah.
he does some kick, and the amount of penalties Scotland have been given away in the last couple of games. If they do that with Argentina and Buffelli is on form, he's taking every single. He's kicking for points every single time. And more
Claire.
than getting them.
Claire. Argentina or Scotland? Who's on?
Argentina, I just said 3
You
minutes
are-
ago before I went
You're
on.
banging on about fucking Buffelli, who sounds like a fucking starter in a fucking Italian restaurant. Come on, Argentina.
He's the kicker in the Argentinian team.
Yeah,
Just so
I
you
know. I know who he is. Go on. So Sarah, Argentina, Claire, Argentina. Who else?
I'll go
I
Scotland.
go with. Danny
Go
Scotland.
Richard Holland. What do you fucking say? Who? Go on.
Argentina. I think Argentina will take that one.
Right. Go on. Matt.
I already said Argentina.
Argentina. All right. Okay. Peter Martin.
Yeah, Argentina.
All right. Danny.
Scotland.
What?
Just to be odd and contrary. Yeah, I go Scotland. Just to be odd and contrary.
All right. Okay.
I'm in yourself then.
Just
There's
to be
always
Boston.
fucking one, isn't there?
There's always fucking one. Right. Go on. Richard Holland.
England, New Zealand is the next.
All right. England, New
Oh,
Zealand.
that's a given.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
Go on, Peter Martin.
Oh,
Give us your prediction. Peter Martin.
Shit.
New Zealand.
All right.
Shit. What am I doing?
Sarah Duffy.
England,
Sarah
England
doesn't
by
know
5 or
what she's
7.
doing.
I don't know what I'm doing.
England. Sarah Duffy. Sorry, you going England?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Claire.
New Zealand.
All right.
They're out for blood.
Matt.
New Zealand.
All right. Danny.
Actual fuck am I doing?
Danny.
I think that'll actually be could actually be one that's the weekend. I'd say.
I really don't need a fucking story. Just give me a team. You know what I mean?
Okay, Sarah, move it back up a bit.
I'm gonna go for a draw.
There
A
you go.
draw.
There
A
you
draw.
Yeah.
Go for a draw.
because, yeah,
All right.
I go for
Okay.
that one because I can't call a winner. England wants to get one over New Zealand after the World Cup. I think New Zealand wants to kind of keep their form running at the moment. And Joe and
Draw, you
everything.
You get 20 to 1 on that in the bookies.
All right.
Yeah, right there.
I think
Wait,
that's
no.
best.
One. That's not a bad show.
Richard.
I will go with New
Don't
Zealand.
touch.
There you go. Grand. You're grand there, yeah.
All right. So New Zealand, England, New Zealand, draw, New Zealand. Okay, fair enough. Any more games? Is there another game?
France and Japan will be the last.
Ah, fuck off,
France.
yeah. Fucking France.
France.
France by 7.
France.
Yeah.
Did I say France?
France.
No, he didn't. He didn't say
France.
France, Martin. He didn't.
So France v Japan. How's your round? France. There you go. Everyone's
Over by
saying
half
France.
time.
Oh, but yeah, exactly. Yeah, probably. Yeah. All right. There you go. Go on,
Probably.
Richard. Back to you.
I just one last question for you all. Just Andy Friend leaving Connacht. What do you think his legacy
yeah.
is going to be after he leaves? Now, unfortunately, James is after dropping out. It would have been interesting to hear his opinion on this. But just wondering what you think of his legacy and what he's done at Connacht.
I think he's probably left Connacht in better places in ways. He hasn't done maybe as well as Pat Lam in terms of winning trophies, but I think he's kind of put a better culture there to an extent. But I think last season we saw very much a Jekyll and Hyde Connacht. I think that's going to maybe leave a bit of a marker long term for him. I think he did try to do an awful lot of good work there. He did in certain ways, but yeah, he did the best he could there, as far as I'm concerned. But I said last season we saw Jekyll and Hyde an awful lot with Connacht. I think that's going to be maybe would stay in his
Okay, sorry.
stay on his maybe time there. But yeah, I think he's got a bit of an old cult following up back there, right? Because I think he is one of those people that he's trying to get the best culture going there, but results haven't always gone their way for Connacht.
His legacy is going to be giving us Mac Hansen.
Probably, yeah.
That's probably literally the only thing he did for Connacht.
Yes.
Giving us Mac Hansen.
They brought him back on.
Or something that new,
That's
wasn't
it.
it?
And
Yeah.
it wasn't actually, to be fair, it actually wasn't even fucking him. It was his son.
Son, yeah, son met him, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So then he's done fuck all then.
Behind the tash.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got good hair.
But to be fair, look, I mean, okay, like being honest, like it's following Pat Lam was going to be a hard thing considering what Pat Lam did for Connacht.
Yeah.
And also Pat Lam was pretty much himself and what's that fucking captain John fucking what's his name?
Muldoon.
Muldoon.
Yeah.
Them two, the two of them really kind of built Connacht and also got them the Pro 14 championship when they beat Leinster in the final.
Yeah, all right, calm down.
Just telling it as it is, like
Yeah, I know.
he's just saying.
I know. Go on.
This is what
fucking
happened.
grumpy
Just
git in the
saying.
corner.
What's he like? I thought I was the hangry one on tonight, but anyway, here we are. He's
No,
back.
I have
Fuck,
my
he's
penis.
always
I have my penis.
Oh, I know
Sorry.
what the problem is. He's got man.
Mansfield, yeah.
Don't.
Yeah,
Don't.
I'm go on.
Still giving out there, people.
Flu.
I'm not giving out Guamat. Sorry, I'm not giving out.
And that was it, pretty much. Like, after Pat Lam, it was going to be a hard task. For me, he didn't really do much. I mean, when you lose your captain John Muldoon, who was like the stalwart of Connacht for a long, long time, and you lose a good coach like Pat Lam and what he did, it's going to be very hard to follow. He brought in Mac Hansen. That's it. I
Yeah.
can't really say much more. I would have loved to hear James Grennan what his thoughts on the situation
Yeah,
were, or
yeah.
even a possible replacement. I wouldn't have a notion.
Yeah, well, I'd be the same as that now. I don't know who they're going to bring in. My understanding is that the Connacht board knew when he signed the contract to be director of rugby last year that this was going to be his last year anyway.
Yeah.
Oh,
So the director of rugby, I think, was just a little sweetener at the end to get him to stay for one more year, I think, and now he's going to move on. I think he only ever stays 3 years in any one club anyway. This is the longest he's ever been with a club, and I think it's perhaps he's just to bring in that Connacht team as far as he can bring him. Maybe it is time to look at somebody now. He did get them to for the first time. He got them into a knockout stage of the Heineken Cup last season. That was a first for Connacht, so he did do that for him. And he does very much of a cult following down there. But as we always said about Connacht when we were reviewing games, is consistently inconsistent with Connacht. They can be world beaters one week and be absolutely abject the next.
Yeah, they could do that in the match as well, Richard. They could one match and brutal in the next, or in the second half. That's their problem.
Yeah.
But you know what though? Do you know what my fucking issue is with Connacht? Besides the fact that they're a bit fucking shit. The coach, your man Wilkinson.
Yeah.
Who the fuck has seen him? Has he done an
Never heard
interview?
of him.
Has he done an interview? Has he done a post-match interview?
I seen him in.
What the fuck? Like, have you seen him in the fucking local spar shop?
No, I've seen him.
Who the fuck is he?
Seen him in the airport in New Zealand. That was the last time I seen him.
Right.
Is he New Zealand man? Is he?
No, he was there with the Irish team.
He's English.
Yeah,
He's
he was there
English.
with the Irish.
Okay.
Yeah, but he does fucking nothing. He does fucking nothing. You look at fucking Jesus Christ, Leo Cullen. You look at
Stuart Lancaster, Graham Rowntree.
Lancaster, fucking McFarland for Ulster,
Rowntree.
Roundtree. They all appear in front of the camera. This fucking prick. Who the fuck has seen him?
It-
No
they're
one has seen him.
Even
the-
Peter,
O'Gara
are
was
you
not-
a cactus expert?
Am I a witch?
Are you a cactus expert?
Cactus.
Yeah.
Oh,
Seem to
very
know a lot of
good, yeah,
pricks,
very
like.
good, yeah. Well done, yeah. I like it, well done. No, but I
Well,
mean,
either
like,
that or you have undiagnosed Tourette's.
I probably do have fuck. But no, but come here to me. But seriously, like, if you're a coach of a provincial team,
Fuck.
you gotta put yourself out there. It's part of the fucking job. They all do it. Cullen does it. McFarlane does it. Who,
Yeah.
Who's this fucking Wilkinson guy?
Maybe
No
he
one's
doesn't.
fucking seen him. Sorry. go
Even
on.
even O'Gara, who's not exactly exciting, shall we say, in front of the camera, he goes out when he does it as well.
Yeah.
You know, O'Gara's kind of, you know.
Fairness, O'Gara fucking bored of fucking knickers off you.
But he
No,
still
Jesus.
shows up for the interviews.
Yeah, well, he does. That's the thing. He does. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, Peter Martin, what time we at?
2 freckles with hair.
That's really
Two
funny.
freckles to a hair. Love it.
With your
Go on.
fancy work, you think you'd be able to tell us what time we're at?
I don't. We're probably about an hour. No, I took it off.
We're just over an hour. It's 10 to 10 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
we're just
about an hour, 10 minutes, I think, to show.
All right, okay. Jesus Christ, that's way too much. Right, go on, Richard Holland, wrap it up and we shall leave.
Right, folks, that's it for another week. Thanks very much for everyone for joining us. Unfortunately, James, his laptop battery died. I think that's what happened. So we didn't get his full opinions on this, but
Go on.
Yeah, you're underneath her. Yes, that was the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
all right.
didn't put quite in the meter. Thanks very much, everyone. We hope you enjoyed the video, obviously, and we hope you enjoy the upcoming games, especially the Ireland-Australia game. We'll see you all next week. Thanks for listening.
Good night.
luck,
Good luck.
Richard.
This
Good
side.
Thank you.
Good luck,
Good
lads.
night. Take care. Good night.
Look,
Good night.
See you all.
Good luck.
that's it, Matt.